faithfully delivering value by interpreting great books from around the world. Hello, this is Sally talking about books. Today, we're interpreting the book The Devil's Dinner with the subtitle The Chili Pepper That Changed the World and the Culture of Chili Peppers. When it comes to eating spicy food, many people have a lot to say. During the pandemic this year, what food sold the hottest? Probably luocefen. In the first half of 2020 alone, Liuzhou packaged luocefen sold 5 billion yuan. Besides luocefen, various sour and spicy noodles and spicy self-heating hot pots became very popular foods during the pandemic. They all share a common trait: spiciness. Rewind 20 years, if you asked where people could eat spicy food, people would say Hunan, Sichuan, Chongqing. But today you can't even ask that question anymore. You have to ask where people can't eat spicy food. Because the whole nation has entered an era where no meal is happy without spice, but few have seriously thought about whether eating spicy food is good or not. Why exactly has it become popular? The book we're discussing today, The Devil's Dinner, tries to answer this question. Its author, Stuart Walton, is a highly acclaimed British writer, cultural critic, historian with deep research into food culture. He has published works like The World Encyclopedia of Wine, and The Devil's Dinner is his latest book. This book tells the story of chili pepper's popularity from three aspects. The first aspect is very down to earth. What's the use of chili peppers? What are the benefits of eating spicy food? The second aspect: how did chili peppers, as a product of a certain region, succeed? The third aspect, about its worldwide spread, the author takes us to understand from physiological, psychological, and sociological perspectives why humans can't resist eating spicy food. So next, let's start with the first aspect: the benefits of chili peppers. First off, chili peppers can be considered a magic tool for eating rice. When people eat chili peppers, it stimulates saliva secretion. Saliva contains abundant amylase, which breaks down sugars in starchy foods like rice and noodles into glucose that's easily absorbed by the body. That's why we always say eating spicy food makes rice go down easy. And chili peppers not only satisfy your taste buds, but also offer great health benefits. A simple fresh red chili pepper is rich in vitamin A, vitamin B1, B2, vitamin C, and trace elements like iron, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, manganese. By analyzing the nutritional components of chili peppers, scientists have found they can help us maintain collagen in the body, making hair and skin look more radiant, boost metabolism, effectively prevent weight gain, and also protect vision, unclog blood vessels, improve cardiovascular function, and a whole bunch of other benefits. Scientists spent 7 years on a long-term study of 500,000 people and found that those who regularly eat spicy food have a lower risk of heart disease, stroke, cancer, diabetes, and respiratory diseases compared to those who don't. Of course, it's important to note this is a correlational study. Why exactly does eating spicy food reduce disease risk? Scientists are still researching it, and chili peppers have another amazing effect. They help people in the north warm up in winter and help those in the south cool down in scorching heat. The northern part is easy to understand. We've all experienced it. A bowl of hot and spicy beef noodles quickly warms up a frozen body. So how does the cooling effect work? It turns out chili peppers can trick our bodies. Eating spicy food in extreme heat makes the body think it's burned, triggering sympathetic reactions like vasodilation and sweating, and as sweat evaporates, it gradually cools the body down. Oh. So this nicely explains why people worldwide in different latitudes and climate zones all coincidentally love chili peppers. Some people say,
Wow, since eating chili peppers has so many benefits, I'll eat spicy food every day from now on, and the spicier the better, right?
then I have to pour a bucket of cold water on that enthusiasm. First, chili peppers obviously irritate the mouth and digestive system. So people with pharyngitis, gastritis, or stomach ulcers should try to eat less spicy food. Some people don't have these issues, but eating too much spicy food can cause vomiting, diarrhea, or stomach cramps. That's because the body isn't used to that much chili and treats it as a toxin, forcing expulsion. So, how do we know how much spicy food is appropriate? The answer is only you can find out by trying it yourself. Everyone's tolerance is different, just like the spiciest level they can handle. Eat as much as you can. Anyway, chili peppers aren't just for eating. They have many magical applications. As a medicine, chili peppers can be used to treat chronic pain, like post-surgical neuralgia and rheumatoid arthritis. The cause of these diseases is an overactive immune system attacking its own body parts, like joints. For such diseases, some doctors prescribe capsaicin cream to patients because capsaicin acts on neuropeptides, which help regulate the body's immune system. Of course, using such medications requires following doctor's orders. But as a weapon, chili peppers can even help the weak overcome the strong. In 1494, on the Caribbean island of Isabela, a fierce battle erupted between the local Taino people and Spanish colonists who had traveled from afar. And the Spaniards had advanced weapons like Toledo steel swords, extremely sharp, giving the Taino no advantage. But the Taino ground chili peppers into powder, mixed it with dirt, packed it into gourds to make chili grenades. When thrown and cracked, the chili powder and dust got into the Spaniards' eyes and throats, and the Taino in headscarves seized the chance to kill them. Later, people invented chili water bombs and chili smoke tactics, lighting piles of chili peppers to suffocate people trapped indoors. It has to be said, people's associations with chili peppers are incredibly rich. Some even link them to sex. Hundreds of years ago, European priests believed chili peppers would stimulate sexual desire. Others say chili peppers are a natural aphrodisiac that can treat sexual frigidity. At Basque weddings, they light chili peppers to pray for the newlyweds to have children soon. Even today in India, there's a spicy cucumber-flavored condom. They believe the chili oil taste will arouse users. But these claims actually have no scientific basis. We've finished the first part, the uses of chili peppers. Next, in the second part, we'll discuss why chili peppers became popular worldwide. They originated in tropical Central and South America, but exactly where remains a mystery. And so, some paleontologists speculate that wild chili peppers may have originated in Guyana in northeastern South America. Others say central Brazil, and others say Central America. Ancient chili peppers weren't this spicy originally. Over the long history, how did chili peppers become spicy? Was it to make us enjoy eating more? Of course not. Chili peppers became spicy precisely because they didn't want to be eaten. Chili peppers also have a survival instinct. Becoming spicy is their self-defense mechanism. All crows under heaven are equally black, but not all chili peppers are equally spicy. Some are insanely hot, some are just right for making meals enjoyable. Why is that? Scientific research has found that insects like aphids really enjoy eating wild chili peppers. But if some chili peppers are too spicy, they'll choose not to eat them. Well, in other words, the spicier the chili pepper, the lower the chance of being eaten or damaged by insects. If chili peppers get bitten or pierced by insects, fungi in the humid tropical air can invade. Infected peppers form fungal colonies, and those that can't resist will die off. Scientists discovered that more capsaicin makes it harder for mold to grow inside peppers, so in dry climates, peppers are milder since they don't need to go all out. Similarly, becoming spicy fights fungi. The more humid the environment, the higher the infection risk. So naturally evolved peppers in such areas became much spicier. This also explains why some restaurants add chili peppers to every dish.
Plus, chili peppers have strong antibacterial properties. They eliminate 75% of foodborne pathogens, making spicy dishes much less likely to cause food poisoning than mild ones. And then when mild ones talk about white standing apollep.
Therefore, chili peppers can also extend food shelf life. So, do you know which part of the chili pepper is the spiciest? Some say it's the seeds. Obviously. Wrong! The spiciest part is the placenta.
those white membranes holding the seeds.
Because evolution concentrates capsaicin where mold is most likely to grow. If you want less spice in stir fries, removing the placenta works better than scraping out seeds. The heat comes from capsaicin. Many mammals feel intense burning when exposed to it, because mammals have TRPV1 channels. When capsaicin binds, it triggers calcium influx and potassium outflow, releasing calcitonin gene.
Related peptide.
As the body senses this pain, it sends false alarms to the brain. Yikes! You're burning at 42 degrees Celsius!
5 degrees hotter than body temperature. But birds are immune. They lack TRP channels, so they relish chili peppers. When birds digest chili fruit, the seeds pass through unharmed. Thus, they are excreted intact through bird droppings, allowing the seeds to spread worldwide. This is how the spread from South America northward happened. But merely spreading to natural environments isn't enough. How do we get people worldwide to love chili peppers? Actually, this process happened later than we imagine. In the 15th century, during the Age of Exploration, Columbus discovered a spice in the New World called ají, which he said was the locals' pepper and more valuable than black pepper. It was the only seasoning used by the locals, but what he called ají was actually chili peppers, as some indigenous people on Atlantic islands called them. To this day, the English word pepper is confused with chili peppers, all thanks to Columbus. At that time, he was full of hope that chili peppers would make him rich overnight. Bringing them back to Europe and reselling them could earn him a fortune, like the coveted Eastern spices in history. But Columbus was only half right. Chili peppers did indeed become a key ingredient in European and global cuisine. However, it didn't make Columbus rich overnight. At first, in Spain and Portugal, people didn't use chili peppers as food. Instead, they cultivated them as rare plants in gardens for ornamental purposes. Later, as explorers returned home from sea voyages, their families began trying to eat chili peppers, like black pepper, using it to season pork dishes, and even invented spicier Iberian main courses like chorizo sausage made with sweet pork and chili peppers. But some Europeans still doubted its culinary value. At this point, experts and scholars had to step in to endorse it. In 1535, Gonzalo, a Spanish historian and traveler, stated that consuming chili peppers in cold winters is particularly beneficial for health. If needed to season fish and meat, chili peppers perform better than traditional Indian black pepper. Alongside the rise of Portuguese maritime trade in the 16th century, this seasoning from the New World further spread to various parts of Asia and Africa. Portuguese slave traders often used chili peppers instead of money to pay during slave transactions, which accelerated the spread of chili peppers across the African continent. Cunning European slave traders realized that if they only sold enslaved people from the same region, there was a potential risk because they were all fellow villagers who might unite and rebel in the future. To reduce this risk, slave traders decided to purchase slaves from different regions of Africa each time. Thus, Europeans traveled across all coastal areas of Africa. Chili peppers not only reached the West African coast, but also appeared in countries like Mozambique and Southeast Africa. Due to climate, Africans were accustomed to eating spicy foods to dispel dampness and heat, so chili peppers quickly integrated into diets across Africa. Africans also cultivated new varieties of chili peppers locally. For example, the African bird's eye chili was a new variety developed after Portuguese explorers brought it to Mozambique.
How spicy is this chili?
If you eat 1 gram of bird's eye chili, you'd need to drink 150 kilograms of water to neutralize the spiciness.
Meaning, you'd need to dilute it 150,000 times for the heat to disappear. In Asia, chili spread like wildfire. For instance, Indians originally consumed black pepper, but it only grew on Kerala's southwest coast, while chilies thrived anywhere and were cheaper. So by the 16th century, common Indians quickly began cultivating and eating chili peppers. After reaching India in the 16th century, chilies took 2 centuries to reach Bhutan, where people even eat them for breakfast. Thailand and other Southeast Asian nations followed suit. After the Age of Exploration, chili's large-scale introduction to China was more complex. Contrary to belief, Chinese 500 years ago knew spicy flavors but hadn't encountered actual chili peppers. Chinese cuisine's spiciness came from mustard, rapeseed, horseradish, ginger, and zuyu, the same zuyu from inserting zuyu while missing someone in poetry. It was a Tang Dynasty spicy seasoning. True chilies likely only arrived in China within the last 500 years. Historians found chilies likely entered through multiple routes. For example, Portugal's 16th century occupation of Macau provided one route. Sichuan and Hunan likely received chilies via Middle Eastern merchants on the Silk Road. Chinese scholars further discovered chili's popularity in southwest China relates to late Ming, early Qing migration waves. During the Ming-Qing transition, southwest China suffered natural and man-made disasters, droughts, locust plagues, epidemics, and Manchu invasion, plunging the region into chaos. Later, Emperor Kangxi issued an edict attracting common people to migrate to Sichuan by reducing taxes. In 1757, Sichuan's population was only 2.68 million. Over 30 years later, in 1790, it reached 8.88 million, and by 1830, it skyrocketed to 34.95 million. Such large-scale migration directly changed the dietary habits of people in southwest China. During the late Ming and early Qing dynasties, salt was expensive and unaffordable for commoners. Chili peppers had strong flavor, induced sweating, and were rich in vitamins, and the Miao people in Guizhou used chili peppers instead of salt. At that time, people often ate wild vegetables to stave hunger. They tasted bad, but adding chili made them edible. Thus, chili peppers took root in Sichuan Guizhou regions and gradually spread throughout southwest China. Two important reasons explain why chili peppers became popular worldwide. On the production side, chili peppers are extremely easy to cultivate, adapt to various climates, and yield abundantly. On the consumption side, people everywhere, especially the poor, after enduring monotonous diets, urgently needed affordable flavor enhancers, making chili peppers the perfect choice. There's a saying, "What belongs to a nation belongs to the world. What belongs to the world belongs to a nation." This perfectly describes chili peppers. Without exception, they've been absorbed into local culinary traditions, completing their cultural infiltration worldwide. In the third part, we'll explore why humans can't resist spicy food, from physiological, psychological, and sociological perspectives. Physiologically speaking, people enjoy spicy food because eating it releases two substances, endorphins and dopamine. Endorphins block nerves from transmitting pain signals to the brain, creating pain relief and euphoria similar to morphine, earning them the name body's natural opium. And that's why some say they're addicted to chilies like drugs. Besides endorphins, consuming capsaicin also triggers dopamine, a powerful neurotransmitter. It governs the brain's sense of happiness and satisfaction. So, our love for spice is actually a series of physiological reactions, but the author digs deeper. He also analyzes from psychological and sociological angles. Beyond pleasure, eating spicy food reveals profound aspects of human nature. You know what? Many foods that create strong emotional bonds aren't particularly delicious. Take alcohol, for example. Many dislike it on first try, especially baijiu burning the throat.
Why do people say bottoms up for deep bonds? Just sip for shallow ones.
One reason is, I know you dislike this drink, but if you truly consider me a brother, you'll endure the throat burn like I do right now. Among those who drink heartily together, there's unique camaraderie, sociologically called hedonic reversal, meaning originally disliked things gain acceptance through social cohesion, like alcohol. So, conversely, you rarely see groups toasting repeatedly with cola. But because everyone knows cola goes down sweet and refreshing. Drinking cola requires no effort regardless of relationship depth, so it can't filter out true companions. Same goes for eating spicy food. For instance, Mexican children develop tolerance, even preference for chilies between ages 4 to 7. They see elders enjoying chilies and gradually adapt through imitation while growing up. If you can't handle spice, you're like an outsider unable to join the family. Psychologically, another explanation is more personal and intimate. Benign masochism. What does that mean? Benign masochism occurs when your body senses external threat, but your brain knows there's no real danger, just bodily deception, creating mind over body pleasure. That sounds too abstract. Take roller coasters. You're safely seated yet feel flung out that insane thrill. If you knew the coaster would derail and kill you, you wouldn't ride. Your body screams, "See!"
Oh, gee, I'm falling.
But your brain knows, "Seatbelt secure, I won't fall." That safe dash danger excitement is benign masochism. Another example is watching a tragic story, whether TV drama or play. You might say, so heart-wrenching. On stage, actors endure extreme physical or mental suffering. Even in the audience, you feel tense and unsettled for them. But leaving the theater, you say, that was brilliantly performed. I loved this tragedy. Also benign masochism. You know the actor's pain is fake. Safe in your seat, yet the realism pulls you in. Safely sharing suffering gives extraordinary exhilaration. Back to spice, why is eating chili benign masochism? Chili lovers always claim their favorite heat is just below their physiological limit. It's like leveling up. Once adapted, you crave spicier thrills. You oscillate between pure joy and agony, feeling out of control, then mastering it, only to seek new extremes. This is chili's addictive secret. Benign masochism blending pain-pleasure. Today, spice fights global dietary homogenization, rescuing human taste.
Dietary homogenization means industrial fast food dominating globally. Chinese notice less due to regional culinary diversity.
But Western foods, burgers, pizza, donuts, have homogenized diets worldwide. In this bland taste world, people crave sensory excitement. Chili fills that void. No part of globalization, spice forces mindful, exhilarating presence. No more numb gobbling. Chili peppers aren't just rebellion against bland burgers and fries, they're revenge against modern life's overwhelming complexity. The author notes spicy eating embodies competitive triumph, essential for social survival. British writer Kipling said, "After everyone eats scalding Texas chili, cursing and chugging milk, if you stay clear-headed, you're a true man of steel." Throughout history, competitive drive has propelled civilization forward. Those who endure chili's torment become willpower-conquering heroes. All right, that concludes the main content of The Devil's Dinner. This once humble crop embarked on an extraordinary cultural journey. From American wild plant to 16th century colonial ships, conquering the globe. Chili's transformed global cuisines, bringing flavor, nutrition, and igniting humanity's spicy obsession. While Pandora's box symbolizes disaster, the author calls chili's the devil's dinner. Once addicted, few turn back, yet we're fortunate. Chili's may be history's only viral global spread that actually benefits us. For a small plant that never wanted to be eaten, this is a remarkably perfect ending. Well, The Devil's Dinner, that ends our interpretation. Notes are below the audio. See you next time.